Anybody done with the implementation? Anyone? Rishi? Okay. So I'm doing it. So here I'm declaring a fact variable to calculate the factorial of the number. And over here, the only changes one is divided by the fact. And the change what I'm doing is I'm calculating the effect of the number. So fact is equals to fact into I, right? So we have already done that how the factorial of any number is calculated. So the same way the factorial of a number will be calculated, then the fact one will be divided by the factorial of that number, and at the end there would be summation of each and every number will be calculated. So our answer will be stored in the sum variable. Any doubts till now, anyone? So this also I'm calculating till 9, and the answer is 1.71 and so on. Any doubts? Okay. Moving on to next. All the three programs that you have done have to be calculated in the same, in the one program. Whatever you have done till now in the past, calculating the power, then performing the uh, division, and calculating the factorial. Over here, the only change is there is not only summation. We have to do subtraction and summation both. When it is odd, there is subtraction, and when we are getting the even I, there will be an addition. So can anyone say me what will be the logic of this? How will calculate this? I'm explaining once again. What you have to do is you have to calculate the series and store its answer into some variable as given in the question. What you need to do is you have to take first step, step one, that is you need to take x. Till x your series will be evaluated and x should be less than 9 because the series is till 9 only. So x must be less than 9. So take x from the user. Then what you need to do, you have to calculate the power of x. And power of x must be the I. So each and every time, whichever I will be there, that will be, you need to take it as a power 2 and you have to calculate. So x power I, and you need to calculate the factorial of I. Then you need to divide. You need to combine both the step with division sign. So x factorial I will, x raised to power I will be divided by I factorial. And this step will have some variations, that would be whether it would be having addition or subtraction. That would be decided by whether the number is odd or even. So the logic is here. Try to implement it by yourself, giving you again 10 minutes. If you have any doubts or any error, just let me know. I had already provided with the logic. Students, am I audible to you? So it's 4:31. I'll be asking you to show your code at 4:41. I'm giving you 10 minutes, implement it. We have already done this. You need to change is to change that where you need to do the subtraction and where you need to do the addition as provided in the series. Check what you need to do from the series. If you have any doubt, then just let me know. Anyone done with the implementation? If you are done with the implementation, share your code in the chat box, or else you can even share your screen. Okay. Once you are done, just share your code in the chat box, or else you can share your screen too.
फेसबुक पे पढ़ रहल हँ ध्यान देना
Now is it done? How much had you done? Kunal, can you show me your code? Okay, so I'm starting. I'm performing it. Now pay attention here. So how many variables we'll need? Can anybody tell me how many variables will be needed? The first variable x that we need in the series. Then the other variable is the power variable as we need to calculate the power. Then I, the loop variable. Then to store somewhere, then we'll be calculating the power. So to store the power that we took as the P as a power variable. Then to store a division somewhere, that if we are performing the one portion, this one portion means the power and dividing it by the factorial. So that we need to store. We are going to evaluate the series in the parts. So that will store somewhere. So that I'm taking as a variable. Then we are going to calculate the fact. Then the sum. So fact will be equal to, yes, we can declare it as a float variable. I don't mind. sum is equals to 0. I'm initializing it with 0. And fact, I'm initializing it as 1. Why we are initializing fact as 1? Can anyone answer me? Why we are initializing fact as okay, because of multiplication. What is the factorial of 0? That is also true that we are multiplying it, so it will yes, exactly. Even the factorial of 0, the answer is 1. And the factorial of 1 is also 1 because 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. So there is no need for the 0. And if we'll multiply anything with the 0, then the answer will be 0. So we are always initializing fact with 1 to avoid those 0 issues. Enter the value of x. Initializing I with 1 as our series start with 1, then I less than equals to 10, less than 10. So it will go till 9, and then I plus plus. So now the main logic comes. What we need to check is we need to check whether the number, if the number is even, then we need to sum, else we need to subtract. Is my screen visible to all? Students, is my screen visible? Okay. So what we'll be doing is we'll be checking whether the number is even or odd. So the logic for checking is will modulo divide by 2 equal 0. If it will be equal 0, then will perform the perform the subtraction. So now whatever variable we have taken, we'll be using it. So what first variable we have chosen is p. P for calculating the power of x raised to I. Put that thing in the p variable. So p is equals to power x comma I. Then other variable I, which is loop variable, then a. So now after calculating the effect, we need to divide it by each other. So that will be storing into a variable. So a is equals to p divided by effect. Then we need to perform the sum is equals to sum plus a, right? So in the next step, else, in the else part, we that will be subtracting with something. So same e is equals to power then in the next we have already taken one variable that is s. In that we'll be dividing both because we need to do the subtraction. So sum is equals to sum minus s. And now at the end, we'll be providing the output. Answer is equals to percentage f, as we have declared the sum variable in the float. So I'm entering the value of x as 7, and the answer is minus 49. You can check it out, you can calculate it by manually. Is this clear to you all? We have done is we have divided the series into and then we have calculated the whole series. So factorial of the number, that is I, then we have subtracted it as per the odd and even sequence. Except Kunal, is anyone studying? Means whatever I'm getting, anyone is uh, getting it what I have done till now. Okay. So now moving on to next. Next is you have to print the following pattern. Now I'm giving you the choice that from this pattern, which pattern you are going to perform and which you want me to perform. I'm going to only other is which pattern do you want me to perform. There is in the PDF there is a mistake. What other students are doing? In a PDF there is a mistake that the second one in this it is above the 2 stars. These 3 stars will be uh, below the 2 stars, not like this. I have it. It will be something like this. So there is a printing mistake. I hope you can get it. In the last one too, in the third one too. So from the pattern, which as it is an important question from the point of view of your exams also. Okay, so I'll be performing this pattern which I have shown, which is shown in the screen to you. Then other two will be given to you as your homework, as your practical work. Other two I'm not going to perform. That is all that is to be done by you. So decide which you want me to perform. Okay. So starting with the code, so we'll be taking loop variable I. Then for space, we'll be taking the other variables as we need it in one in the middle, second, two. So we'll need the row and what kind of space we need to keep. So the logics will be something like that. That in the first row, there will be no space. Means this in the second row, the space would be to it, and in the next, it will be space plus plus. In the second row, the first stat will be printed where will uh, do space minus 1, and in the